You think we're gonna beat all these games?
Nope.
Backlog boys.
No, probably not. Welcome.
Here we go.
Back.
We're going to finish this one up finally.
We are.
It's been a big one.
It has.
Vaughn says the next one might be shorter. The next chapter. But for the most part, sounds comparable.
Comparable, yeah.
We'll see if we can squeeze it into 2 for you.
The last one will be probably
like 12 episodes.
Well, it's 2 missions. Oh God, that'd be scary.
We keep say we're closing in, but then the missions just keep getting longer.
They do.
Oh yeah, there's only like 2 chapters left, but the last chapter's like 40 hours.
That'd be ridiculous.
There's the epilogue.
I imagine the second part of the final mission is just the final boss, pretty much, though.
Oh, like it's just gonna take us that long to whack on them?
No, but it's separate. It's in like a separate stage.
Oh, okay.
So it's like technically separate.
Dramatic.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
all for dramatic effect.
Sweet.
Turn.
Vaughn's looking at his
9.
notes.
Yep. Okay. We good. Just trying to. There's gonna be a horde over here in a sec.
A horde.
So we're gonna.
Is it your life for the horde?
Nice reference. I'm not literate in that franchise, but I do know that.
I loved Warcraft 3.
Did you?
It's the only Warcraft I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah. I did the Arthas campaign, and then I did the Undead campaign. And it was great. I love that style of game. That like Red Alert 2 era real-time strategy game. It's really fun.
I played quite a bit of Red Alert 2 back in the day.
I never had the pleasure of owning it.
No?
Like I mentioned earlier, I had a 486 that could not run games like that that were current at the time. So my buddy had it on his computer, and we'd watch him play it. I remember like kneeling on the floor next to him in his computer chair, because there was only one chair, and just watching him use like the Tesla towers and the dogs and all that cool stuff.
And the apocalypse tanks.
And just thinking like, this game is really cool.
It was cool.
And then years later, technology got better, and the two kids in my grade who had such bad handwriting that the school gave them laptops, would play Yuri's Revenge during class. And everyone hated them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're that guy.
It started with pinball, and then it just evolved.
Oh, like Space Cadet?
Yeah, it's like built into Windows.
Yep.
And you know, like somebody'd like forget to turn the sound off, or like a teacher would walk past them and just see their screen and be like, "Oh,
what you doing?"
There was an infamous time where a teacher just like immediately took interest in the game and then asked them how to show him how to play it.
Wow.
And then he just played. He like reached over and was like shift, like playing the pinball like over his shoulder while the computer was on top of his desk, and was like, "This is really cool," and just like humiliated him.
Oh, like playing the game in front of over his. Yeah, that would be
like
in
while
class.
while the whole class is just looking over like what the heck is going on.
Yeah, that would be.
And he wasn't acting like the kid was in trouble.
But everyone knew.
But everyone knew like he was super busted. It kind of backfires though, because like they're not allowed to take the computer away from the kid, because the computer actually belongs to the school.
Yeah,
that was always a gray area. People were super jealous.
Did I ever talk about on the show my mom's kind of coy dig at me?
Oh yeah, I think I remember this, where like she knew you were doing something and you thought she didn't, or you were somewhere you weren't supposed to be.
Yeah, it was actually prom night.
Yeah, and she just like coolly let it slip. Or not really let it slip, but like
she informed me that she was aware without informing me that she was aware.
Right.
And like
she just like casually in passing mentioned a detail that she would only know if she had the privy knowledge.
Then she corrected herself to my version. She's
right.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, no. And she
and you were just like, damn.
Me. Yeah, I was like, we're like, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
but you know,
Like,
yeah.
yes, of course, your correction is correct, and the first one was outlandish.
Yeah,
Where
whatever
did
you
come
just
up,
said.
Where
Whatever
did you,
you just
where did you
said.
come up with that?
The second one. Yeah, she destroyed me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't remember what series you told that story on, but you definitely
Legendary story.
told that story.
Yeah. My mom's pretty cool.
Glad to hear it.
Love you, Ma, if you're listening. She's
She's
definitely not. But just in case, you know, I don't know.
Hey, 20 years from now, you never know.
She's having surgery soon, and she's gonna have some time off. Maybe she'll
Gonna catch up on the
I'll
boys.
give her I'll like just send her the link to our like
no
playlist,
roses, no card.
all episodes playlist. And
Mom, click go on this playlist. Just let it run.
just let it run on the TV while you're all loopy.
Make sure you click repeat playlist so when it ends, it starts over again.
You kind of broke your internet doing that, didn't you?
Oh my
Something like
god,
that?
dude. Yeah, Comcast is an evil corporation throttling their internet. I've already run into instances where if you go to like a like, I don't know what the right word is for it, an uncommon website, that it runs significantly slower than, you know, something like Twitter or Facebook.
Oh yeah.
That has like an equal amount of content, and you know, it's not like it's full of photos and it's on a crappy server or anything like that. Like, just literally you can tell that the connection is just being slowed down,
Yeah.
because now they can say, oh well, if you want that fast bandwidth and those servers, you can just pay for that.
Where's? Oh, there she is.
Thanks.
Okay. That's what we wanted.
Thanks, legislators. Yeah, that's so what we wanted. Yeah.
I heard an interesting thing on the radio just today. It was a professor. It was NPR, and a professor talking about being interviewed about free speech or something. And this question came up of like, where does it start and where does it end?
Okay. Free speech
yeah.
as a concept?
Yes.
Okay.
Like what's protected and what's not. And he gives like the legal definition of like what it is. But then he also kind of talks about like what it isn't, what it does and doesn't protect. And
Right.
obviously it doesn't protect like yelling fire in a movie theater if it's not a fire. Things like that. Like where it puts people in unnecessary danger.
Right.
Yeah. So he brought up this court case, which was actually like went to the Supreme Court from a St. Paul, Minnesota city ordinance from, I don't know, whatever year. But it was like, it had been banned to draw or to create, I'm gonna sneeze. There we go.
Bless ya.
You're okay, names. Maybe. Oh yeah, there you go. Just stretching. It had been made illegal by city ordinance to draw. What? Give me that back, you punk!
Is that a class up item?
No, that was like a shield that protects from critical hits. I did not expect him to do that. Freaking cheeser.
Does he give you that back if you kill him?
I think so, yeah. Let's check. Oh, that's... You punk. I'm gonna have to actually
He keeps
steal it.
You have to
from him.
steal it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if I can. I might not be able to.
That's trash.
That's
It's like a really good item, right?
That is.
You don't get another one, do
Dude,
you?
he just punked me. Punked me hard. He had a lot of stuff to steal, too, if you wanted.
Is it just luck based?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I don't know if it's like the slot in your inventory or like the most
Yeah, if it always
money
goes to the
value.
bottom.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
It sucks.
Yeah. Well, good move, guy. You got me.
Yeah.
Jeez. Was not ready for that. But we'll live. So the city ordinance, like, made it illegal to, I think, create swastikas, like in writing or maybe not in writing, but like a flag with a swastika was illegal to make
Right.
in the city, or like spray painting it onto someone's house
Right.
to like intimidate them, so it's made illegal.
And then someone tried to say that was against the First Amendment.
Actually, it went to the Supreme Court, and 9-0, the Supreme Court ruled that is protected free speech.
So the ordinance was overturned then,
yes,
and swastikas became allowed.
yes,
God.
which is like I don't know. I find that interesting.
So what did this guy getting interviewed have to say about that? Did he agree with that,
he
or
said
no?
essentially that he did agree with that. That's the right interpretation. That you have to. He was saying like, oh, you have to protect what you don't think, what speech you don't think is right on principle, if it doesn't like de facto hurt people, like literally. If it doesn't physically harm them,
then
or put them in danger,
then it's okay.
Yeah, that you have to.
But
protect
couldn't you
that.
argue that?
Sorry,
the
I'm looking
swastika,
at what is in each of these chests here, real quick.
Couldn't you argue that the swastika
1, 2,
could
3.
potentially put people in danger, physical danger?
Maybe. I mean, we're not. Neither of the boys are lawyers, if you're wondering.
Yeah. Nope.
No? You sure?
Definitely not.
One example that he brought up.
I feel like we could pretty easily come up with a situation where that could put someone in danger.
Maybe. But
like, okay, there was a guy in Germany who had a similar situation where he was like waving a Nazi flag.
but it is illegal in Germany. I
Right,
think.
right. And then he got his ass kicked. So if the same thing happened in America, I guess that's already happened. But I'm thinking of like,
Probably, yeah.
like what if the situation was a little bit different, where like a drunk guy had a swastika like drawn on his forehead with a Sharpie by someone else, and he didn't know, and he got beat within an inch of his life because somebody drew a swastika on him.
I could see that. I think that would be probably incitement. He did talk about incitement, like if you are giving a speech. So there's this thing where like college campuses, have been shutting certain people down from speaking, like saying you can't speak here because we don't like what you say and we think it'll be dangerous.
Right.
And this guy was saying like, his opinion was like, I only subscribe to that if that person is literally like
Inciting violence.
inciting a riot, but they're saying like, take what I'm saying and act on it in this way.
Yeah, it's such a gray
where
area.
it has to be like he was saying it has to be like specific. But it was like, I don't know, it's interesting that
so many ins and outs of that, because you're shutting them down before you've heard what they're going to say.
right,
So how do you know that they're inciting?
right,
Like how do you know that they're going to tell people to act on what they're saying and they're not just presenting a point?
right.
And then,
Which is kind of his point. Like,
yeah,
where does incitement begin? From just saying something that someone would think is hateful,
yeah,
which is not an easy question to answer.
they're not easy questions to answer. That's for sure.
Not something I planned on thinking about today, but
You just came across that?
it was just playing while I was on the way here.
Oh, on the radio?
Yeah, and I had a long drive here today. Actually.
Oh yeah, because of the freaking snowstorm.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts.
A lot of snow out there, folks. And I'm sure
29.
if anyone listening is from anywhere other than Minnesota, they'd expect no less.
But surprisingly, we get less snow on average than like the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't had a big singular.
Gone.
We haven't had a big singular snowfall.
Yeah, this year.
This
I
year.
guess.
Yeah, this winter. Not 2018, but this winter season.
Cormac's still level 1? Alright, we gotta get you some action, bud.
He can handle it.
He can. He's a beast.
He can hang.
He can hang with the best of them.
Dude, this next enemy turn,
We're tasting?
you know, yeah, we got to taste.
I am down to taste.
We have a very special soda to taste on the show today. A gift from a friend.
A gift from a good friend.
A good friend. Someone you know if you've watched this show, potentially.
35.
Because they have been on this show.
Okay.
And someone we will hopefully be partnering up with again in the near future.
That's right.
For a sweet project.
Yes.
That unfortunately was supposed to have already
collab.
happened and got
As you might-
postponed.
As you might call it. Y'all.
Y'all.
Y'all out there.
So
sword.
it's an ironing board, sharpened on all sides. So I'm kind of looking at these notes over here, Vaughn, on our other screen,
Yes.
and cheating here. Are there multiple outcomes to this mission based on what you do? Because it looks like you can just last out these 13 turns here, but can you go and kill the leader of the bad guys as well? Is that what that's implying?
Yes, there's a strat.
And end the mission that way?
There's a spicy strat you can take.
Really?
Very risky. Where you essentially... So you can either kill the boss of this mission, or wait out the 13 turns and protect this guy. So if this guy dies, you lose,
Right.
no matter what.
Right.
But, which we're fine for now.
Wait, were you going to try to steal
Jeez,
that?
Nah, no, we could, but Rana could probably die.
Okay.
Because these guys are going to wreck him. Yeah.
Well, that ain't worth it.
Well, maybe he'll follow us and try to steal something else, and then we'll steal it back. Because he'll probably try to steal one of these. And that'd be fine. We'll lure him away.
Okay.
That's our official strat. Okay, but yeah, you can use the warp staff that I was using earlier to just warp a super powerful character right over here.
Oh, and just kill the guy?
And then just try to kill the guy, but he's pretty tough. And if you miss, he's just sitting there for the next turn, surrounded by...
Right, and he's going to get killed, most likely.
surrounded by all these guys.
Yeah, so it's like a super risky strat.
Yes, but flashy beyond belief.
If you pull it off.
If you pull it off, yeah. I wonder if that's what they do. They must do that for speedruns.
That would... I mean, it seems like
It's
it would,
one turn.
it would hinge on that, yeah.
But, yeah,
Just
probably
send
just like...
beam Seth down there.
Yep. And then he just does his thing.
Yeah.
We haven't really found a use for him in this this playthrough, unfortunately.
Yeah, we haven't been using him.
Yeah.
You said
I said he would be good.
we were going to use him at the end.
I did, but unfortunately he's been outshined.
When we get to that final 40-hour chapter, we might bust him out.
For one of the 40 hours.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. People at home.
Yeah, our episodes are usually 40 minutes, but the finale of this series is going to be 40 hours.
Jesus. That'd be a lot.
The first like 3 or 4 hours is us actually like playing the game and becoming incredibly exhausted, and then the other 36 hours of the episode is just a still screen, and we're just
passed out.
We're just passed out at the mic.
Were those guys falling asleep on Twitch?
Yeah. I wonder how often that happens. It's got to be super often.
It's got to happen a lot during like 24-hour guys trying to do 24-hour things, or
yeah, or just like any time the person is like in the middle of the night at their time zone
and like alone.
Yeah.
Not much going on in chat. Not much going on in the game.
Or if they're like waiting to queue for...
Jesus. Just gone.
God, that weapon is just so brutal.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that must happen a lot during...
Yeah, I could totally see it.
Because I feel like God, even that axe is scary.
With the freaking chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a half a table sharpened on one side.
The 2 stats he needs. That's how he becomes a wall.
Strength and defense?
Or HP and defense, yeah.
Oh.
Nope.
Miss.
Oh, God.
Oh, baby.
Look, and then he catches it.
That shield spin is just out of control.
Yeah.
Just way up there. Just
waiting for it. Dude, heroes are cool. Like,
out of context.
But yeah, I mean, we struggle doing our
Oh my god, yeah.
Like that's what becomes like a
if you were
14-hour
a
day.
streamer, you'd be falling. That'd be like your shtick.
I just falling asleep at the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stream for like 4 hours today. Just every time hour 4 is just nap. You wake up at the end and you're like, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.
Oh.
You never like apologize for it. It's just like part of the
thing.
yeah.
Does Twitch? I feel like every time I've seen that in the chat, someone's like, somebody wake him up, or somebody text him because they're like not supposed to be asleep.
Oh, we're missing this enemy FaceTime.
Oh shit.
Is it almost over?
Probably not, because it's gonna be more off-screen stuff.
Okay, cool. Let's taste this sode. I need you to film, Vaughn.
You need me to film?
Yeah. It's my time to shine, all right?
Ready?
Yeah.
Let me focus. There we go. Boom.
Today, we're tasting a very special soda given to us by a very special friend. Shout-outs to Justin. We'll be sure to tag him in this video. This is the Sprecher Orange Dream. It's a, dreamsicle combination, orange and vanilla. Ooh, and it smells like it. We're playing Fess.
Taking a sip. It's going in.
That's the dreamsicle flavor.
Yeah?
It's an even balance between the orange and the vanilla, which is nice. It's not too sweet. Ooh, and there's a little bitterness of the orange peel, which really keeps it from being too sweet, which is one of the main reasons why I'm not a huge on this combination. That's good. That's good. Go get you one.
I like that. Ooh. I'm gonna have to take a sip of that.
I like the graphic. Little cow with a straw stuck in his orange. Her orange. I'm giving my udders a break.
I don't usually. We talked about this before, but I don't usually like orange mixed with many things. But I like that. That's good. It is very.
You can have as much of this as you want, because I won't be able to drink much of this.
I don't think I'll be able to do much better than you, but
okay.
You can certainly try.
It's a potent flavor, and we've had a lot of soda today.
Oh, he did the thing. I can steal it back.
Oh, nice, dude.
Oh, wait, I have to trade an item off of him.
Oh, he stole your vulneraries or something?
Let's see. I should be able to...
elixir?
Should be able to trade... Oh, he has room. He can't steal? Is he immune to stealing?
You can't steal from a thief?
Yeah, it's not giving him the option.
Weird.
Okay, we're just gonna kill him. Done with him.
Mother trucker.
Yeah, fired. Get out of here.
Fired.
Pack up, go home.
Just a dragon perched on top of a column.
Poor guy.
Hitting him with the smog.
He didn't have much of a chance.
That guy was a jerk, too, with his freaking poison sword.
Yeah.
You're poisoned. Gotcha.
Everyone's least favorite person.
Yeah.
I can't do any damage, but I'll make you sick a little bit.
Oh, here's a 4 times.
Oh, 4x, just a boom.
Yep. He's just gonna keep going until he kills him.
Boom.
And
cheat codes.
Yep. Again? Yep. He's gone.
The slowest archer ever.
Yep.
He's like pulling the arrow out of the quiver as the third spear stab to his face happens. Well, big shout outs to Justin.
As he's like crumpling down, like,
yeah,
his arm's still kind of pulling out the arrow.
Yeah.
But he's slumped over. Gone. Exited this realm of this plane of existence.
Big shout outs to Justin for his gift soda.
Yeah, Justin's awesome.
Appreciate that, bud. Can't wait to do our Cyber Lunch crossover.
Yes.
It's going to be great. And you've never met the other guys, so that'll be exciting too.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the other guys. I've actually been keeping up to date on their cast as well, which I'm impressed with myself for finding 2 hours-ish a week to listen to their cast. It's fun. It's a good time. They talk about us sometimes.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, Justin, what a guy. I'm a fan of his, you could say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Justin's great. I've seen very, very little of him now that he's living that married life.
Yep.
Although I guess I never really see him outside of work before or after that changeover. So that's kind of unfair to say.
Well, ever since you...
But I've heard from
Changed
his closer
location.
friends that it's even more impossible to get him involved in stuff.
Yeah.
It's really amazing that they have the weekly podcast, honestly.
Is it his thing?
No.
Is it this? Okay.
No, he doesn't do the editing or anything like that. He just kind of shows up and they
Just
do
me.
the stuff. I mean, they prepare for it, unlike us. They actually like send like email threads to each other to like discuss the topics.
Oh, okay.
And like prepare questions and stuff. And then like one person gets assigned a different thing that like rotates each week. So they're more prepared than we are.
We do what we can.
They got
here,
more
though.
structure.
I started this book.
Yeah.
This might take a dark turn, so I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But I started this book.
I'm buckled in.
Are you? All right. Called... What's it called? Something... Oh, Shake Hands with the Devil.
Sounds familiar.
It's about the UN general who was in command of the peacekeeping mission in Rwanda when the genocide broke out.
Okay.
And it's just like his telling of the story and like what happened and what he saw, what he did, and like his also like part a healing or like coping mechanism for him to like force himself to write about it.
Yeah.
And because he is the highest ranking member of, I think, a North American armed force to openly suffer with PTSD.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just Canadian. It might not be both. But it's crazy.
I could imagine.
I'm like 100 pages in, and that's like maybe a fifth. And it's like...
So it's not even like a story. It's like his personal accounts.
Yes. It's... Oh, and he kind of starts with like when his perspective of like not just this situation, but like the military and like why he joined, like how his father was connected to the military, and like, you know, what he was taught, you know, being born into that role that he eventually took.
Right.
And like, it's just like, it's insane. Like the things that he writes about and had to deal with, and like what am I doing? I moved Ephraim. Oh, I see. So you go there.
I need to pick a new book to start. I haven't been
If you want to feel good,
reading anything.
do not read this.
Yeah, I don't do well with things like that.
It's heavy.
It really strongly affects me. That's why I don't do scary movies. That's why I don't do a lot of sad movies. Because whatever, like, I don't know, I'm kind of like a emotional chameleon.
You internalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whatever something is like supposed to make me feel, or whatever the other people are feeling, it gets translated to me like very directly.
And it's just like, he also is hesitant to like assign blame to people, but like he kind of verges on it several times. And there's this moment where he talks about knowing, so he was sent there without like any really good preparation on peacekeeping overall, but also like Rwanda specifically. Ooh. Because it was so that's a super powerful dark
spell?
Dark, yep.
Sweet.
He didn't have good context on like what this, you know, peace agreement he was supposed to be enforcing meant in in Rwanda, and like in the context of everything else that was going on there. And so he like kind of walks through this point where he knows that there are weapons like machetes just stockpiled in like the thousands upon thousands, and he like writes and says, it's my opinion that these are going to be imminently used on an immense scale to cause catastrophic suffering and death. And he's like, he says, look, I'm ready to do whatever I need to do to destroy these. I can take action now, and we can like get ahead of this. Just give me the nod, and it's done. And like we'll get this ball rolling.
So he kind of predicted it and knew what was building.
And he sent a super urgent, like, we need to do this. He sounded the alarm.
Yeah.
And the fax goes to like the UN headquarters, and like the thing in the Black Hawk Down thing had just happened in Somalia. And so there was like all this speculation that people in the West don't want anything to do with disastrous peace, what's perceived as like disastrous stakes of peacekeeping, involved peacekeeping anywhere. And then so like this fax that he sends and several other faxes just get like buried because they know that it'll get vetoed by the Security Council. And within weeks, just hundreds of thousands of people that he could do very little to stop from dying, just like dead. And it's like shaking. Like reading this book is like it feels important and like good to do because of like the weight of it, but it like hurts to read. And I don't think I've ever read any or like viewed anything where like actually
had that strong of an impact.
Yeah.
Well, because it's real. It really happened.
Yeah. And the scale.
It's not just like it's not a story for the sake of a story. It's
like he's telling his story, not just a story. And this.
Well, and shit
crazy.
for somebody to have a prediction like that they're that confident in, and then
to feel powerless to stop it. Yeah.
Right.
To watch it happen and then.
Yeah, to be basically forced to watch your premonition come true.
When like you had the chance.
Yeah.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, it is a nightmare.
And like I don't want to tell any specifics of like certain things that he's talked about that happened. Jesus, Ephraim.
Goodbye.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Oh, one hit.
Oh, the lance broke. That's why. Even Ephraim is stopped by a broken weapon.
Oh, that's the only reason he didn't hit again.
Yep.
Got it.
But yeah, it's just like I have to like stop myself from reading it at like work where I have ample opportunity to read and stuff, because it just like
it affects your mood so strongly.
Yeah, it just like ruins.
I totally know what you mean.
The day it ruins the moment. It ruins whatever you're doing, and like really makes everything somber, and like you can't think about anything else. It's crazy how gripping, but I can't put it down either. That's the problem.
Right.
Like it's so potent.
It's that whole can't look away thing. Train wreck. All right, Vaughn, let's do this.
Yes.
So there's an endless number of enemy units, or is there a finite number of them down there?
There's probably a fixed number, but at
like,
this point
it's impossible to kill them all in 13 turns.
Unless I just went on a epic stampede.
A Seth spree.
Yeah. I guess an Ephraim spree.
I mean, he's kind of been on a standing in one spot killing spree.
He has, yeah.
Where people just line up to die.
That might happen right here with Myrrh.
With Myrrh?
Yeah.
People are just going to come after her and she's just going to burninate them all?
I'm just going to post her on this pillar and see what happens. I think she's just gonna destroy everyone.
They're all gonna try their hand, and she's just gonna burn them.
Yep.
It's awesome, dude. That's what I expect out of the Dragon Girl.
She's P strong.
Yeah, she's OP strong.
And she starts out not though. It's a big climb.
She just got extremely OP, like really fast.
Yes. It didn't take long, but
Yeah,
she started at the bottom. Now she here.
Okay,
So,
I'll allow it.
yeah. Grudgingly.
Yeah. Good enough. Good enough use of to allow.
It's an old meme, but it checks out.
Yeah, it's an old code, but checks out.
What scene does that play in? I've never been able to figure that out.
It's when they're in the they steal the Imperial shuttle and they're they're sneaking into the Death Star.
Oh, yep, okay. It's an old code.
Yeah. You think there's plot holes in Last Jedi? Let's go back to the originals. Quit overanalyzing, you losers. It's a freaking action movie for the family.
Has your take on Last Jedi swung at all?
A little
time?
bit.
I think mine has for sure.
I think the key thing that I have discovered at this point is that this is the first time that a Star Wars movie has ever had subtlety and nuance.
Okay.
And I think that is what a lot of people don't like about it. They might not realize that that's what it is, but I think that's what it is.
Okay.
That somebody tried to add subtlety to something that was previously extremely face value, superficial, cut and dry, black and white, good versus bad.
You know, that's kind of a good take on that.
But now it's just muddy water. Like, you don't really know what's going on, and there's this whole Rashomon thing happening, and it's cool. I think it's cool. What I don't think is cool is that these two directors kind of screwed the pooch
For each other was
yes.
my take.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, for J.J. Abrams to be like, do 7, and then be like, I don't really want to do the other 2. And then they hand it off to this guy, and then he starts working on it, and then J.J. be like, maybe I do.
Yeah.
And
Do you think that's how it happened? Though?
I don't know
Or do you
how
think it was?
I don't know how it happened, but however it happened was stupid. Because that is just the worst idea, to have one continuous story told by a bunch of different people.
Yes.
Oh, let's do a new Star Wars trilogy, but we'll do it like the game of telephone. Where I'll say a part, and then you'll tell that part, and then the next part to the next person, and we'll just go around, and it'll turn out awesome.
Yep. I think, looking back, I think that's a super odd decision.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, the first half of what I said must be true. I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams changed his mind at some point and decided that he didn't want to do 8 and 9. But I mean, I could be wrong about that, because I think it was originally supposed to be him for all 3, and that something changed.
Okay.
And he was like, wanted to work on another project, and it wasn't going to be able to be 2 at the same time or whatever. And then, and then he like changed his mind or something. I don't know. But I can't really think of a scenario that makes sense. They all sound really stupid.
Yeah, it's like my sense is that I like the things that I like about The Last Jedi more than things that I already liked on first viewing. I like those things more, and I dislike the things that I disliked on first viewing also more.
Yes.
Like it's a big.
The movie is so polarizing.
It's very polarized, even for, so not just for the fan base, but like internally, it's
Well, and here's my point resurfacing again, there's this nuance and subtlety that people don't know how to respond to, especially Western audiences. And that's the thing, is like there's things that they really like about it, and then there's things that they hate about it, and they don't understand. They can't accept.
I think there's a block on how that can be good.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't accept that those two things can exist within the same thing.
Yeah.
The same piece of art. Well, I can't like it and not like it.
You can't be torn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to just like it or just not like it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, well, actually, no. You can be conflicted about it. And that might be part of what Rian Johnson was going for. Although I do think part of it is Rian Johnson versus J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson versus Disney. You know, everybody's
trying to buck.
Everybody's trying to speckle stuff in there, and it's like, well, I want to put my signature on this.
Yeah, everyone's Salt Bay, and they're
Yeah.
You don't need to all be just putting your spices.
Well, I need everyone
in
to
there.
know that Rian Johnson made this thing.
Yeah.
And well, I need everyone to know that J.J. Abrams put his little stamp on this thing. And oh, well, it's a Disney, and we need a Disney right here. Can I get a Disney in this scene, please?
Can I get a Disney?
Yeah.
Where's the Disney?
You know, so it seems like there's a lot of creative forces that are clashing, and the movie is suffering because of that.
Yeah.
But the more time that
Here it
passes.
comes.
Oh, the
One?
the burninating.
Yep. There's one flame. And two.
Oh, she's going twice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think she's just going to destroy all these
I think
guys.
the more time that passes and the more analysis that I read, I get a clearer picture of what Rian Johnson's vision was.
Okay, what do you think?
What do I think his vision was?
Yeah.
Well, it's very complex, but in a broad sense, I think his vision was to add subtlety and nuance and create some kind of dissonance. Like to basically say,
Or almost that this reaction was wanted.
right,
was
to say,
desired.
hey,
This was the goal.
this is muddy and this is undecided.
Yep.
God, 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And, you know, this isn't cut and dry. And what are you going to do about it?
I like.
You
Yeah.
know.
That's a good description. What
And
what are we going to do about it? What is Star Wars going to do about it?
Can you accept this?
Is she done? No.
You know?
Jesus.
Like, the movie ends and you're not sure who the good guy and the bad guy are. You know, and you don't know what's going to happen next. And when you're used to cookie cutter movies, that's not going to feel good.
And I think one of my things is that I really like that he's tried to challenge the idea of Star Wars and like the people who like it,
Right.
and to like is Star Wars really what you think it is? What you think it is? Like, is it one thing
Yeah.
that you could just put a number or a name on, or a logo on,
Yeah.
and or does it have to have all these things? And like almost like it's a test. Will people still like this? Even if it's different than what they want it to be or think it should be. But then I keep coming back to like having problems with the execution of that vision, I think.
Right. And
there's-
that's the part where I don't know how much to blame any of the three creative forces are. You know, or do we blame Rian Johnson, or do we blame Disney, or do we blame J.J. Abrams?
JJ might be in the toughest position with a movie yet to come,
Right.
and a lot of his inklings from the first movie gone,
Right.
of like what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I think Rian Johnson was very nice and very knowing in some of his choices, because so many things are left open-ended.
Yeah, a lot of things are left open.
He's just left it so that JJ can decide, oh, this person's going to be good or this person's going to be evil. Or this person's going to live or this person's going to die.
What's that going to do?
He basically
Nothing.
he left it very open-ended in a lot of aspects, which was very generous of him. I just hope that when it comes time for Rian Johnson to do his trilogy, that he gets a lot of creative license and freedom, and they're not as restrictive because it's not this, like, it's a clean slate.
Look at this wall.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It's a bunch of synchronous mounted units. Up, hey, up, hey, up, hey, up, hey. We're gonna make it through this little tunnel here. Wedging in like Curly and Moe in a doorway.
Yeah, just kind of like tripping over each other.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, getting stuck. But yeah, I don't really fault Rian Johnson for any of the faults of episode 8.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the wrong decision or not, but to me it doesn't seem like directorial issues. Because I don't know, my qualms with episode 8 are not so much creative ones.
But are they with the movie? Are your qualms with the movie? I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the content they're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the really the only two qualms that majorly remain for me, like, here's the thing, like, I remember the laundry list of things that people complain about in the movie, but as far as things that I actually am...
Wait, did you see it again?
No, I have not seen it a
Okay, so
second
we've both
time.
only seen it once.
But as far as the things that I actually still think about on my own, and not just remember, oh yeah, there's people that are mad about that, there's really just two things. And that's the way they chose to portray Leia's growth and awakening with the Force, and the casino scene.
Okay.
Or that little chapter. Those are really the only two things in my brain that I keep thinking about.
Okay.
And then there's other negative criticisms that I see merit in, but they don't really bother me as much as they bother other people.
Okay.
Like, I know there's more negative criticisms than that, but the rest of them are pretty insignificant to me, personally.
I think most of it for me comes to specific questions about execution in terms of, like, getting rid of a major villain who's supposed to have all this. There's, like, I guess a lot of. I felt like there were a lot of plot holes.
He wasn't
like
a major villain.
Well, in the end, no. But
He could have been a major villain. But he wasn't. He was trash. He was a trash villain in Force Awakens, and he was a trash villain in Last Jedi. He was trash. He was nothing. He was literally nothing.
But then they still. I don't think
They didn't.
I don't think
think-
it suits what they did with Kylo Ren all the way up to the movie to put him where he is at the ending, where he's just like, oh, now he is Snoke. Like,
But he isn't. He isn't Snoke. He's a freaking. Okay, at the end of Last Jedi, Kylo Ren is a quarter spinning in the air, waiting to land. He does so many different things throughout that movie to twist and turn the prediction of what he's going to do next. He plays like 3 different angles. There's the Rashomon reference with the whole story of what happened between him and Luke, where you don't really know what happened. And then there's him killing Snoke, where the stuff that Snoke says sounds like it's about something else, but it could be interpreted to be about him. And you don't know if he's killing him because he hates him, or if because he wants Rey to think that he's turning good so that he can deceive her, or if he's just killing him because he wants to try to usurp. There's like all these different angles, and he never gives it away. He poker faces through the whole thing. And it's left on such a note that it could literally go any way in the next film.
But I guess my problem with it is that it seemed like it was hinted at like so many times in the telling of the movie, where it's like, okay, out with the old, in with the new, and it seemed so much like they were setting up an even bigger question mark of both, because I think both Rey and Kylo Ren are supposed to have a question mark around them about
absolutely
what
they have
are.
Huge question marks at the end of the film.
But it seems like at the end of the movie, one is definitively on the good side and one's definitively on the evil side.
I totally disagree.
The last battle is he just becomes the new Snoke. He just becomes the supreme leader and says, kill all these guys, kill the whole. I thought it was going to be like they kill Snoke, and then he reaches out to Rey and says, let's throw aside, we're both gray, neither of us are black and white. Let's throw aside both of these black and white entities that exist around us that are like fetishizing us, and become the gray area, a new republic from scratch. You and me, the two most powerful people in the galaxy, and we decide what it is as like the new,
but you don't
what
think
it should be.
You don't think that the events that transpired leave that as a possibility?
No, he just says, no, you have to be evil, and then she's like, that's not gonna happen, and then they fight. It seemed like that was supposed to happen in the throne room, where they both have this climax of all their decision making up to that point, where like it seemed like him becoming evil again is just another flip flop instead of like a progression towards something. Where
he's not for me, he's not on a linear path.
No,
he's not on a progression. For me, the throne room scene was like
it was a lashing out.
It was like he was ad-libbing. He doesn't even know what he's doing moment to moment. He hasn't decided yet. At least that's how I view the portrayal of his character, is that he still isn't sure. He's legitimately conflicted.
Yeah.
And he's not sure where his loyalty lies yet.
But
that's how I interpreted it.
It seems like that was supposed to be decided this movie, because that was all of last movie too.
But
it's now two movies, and this movie it's just one extreme to the other, to the other, to the other.
Okay,
and no.
But this is part of the directorial conflict, because J.J. Abrams' Kylo Ren was a one-dimensional character.
Yeah,
he wanted to be like Darth Vader, even though, and this is an interesting wrinkle, he idolized Darth Vader, right? Mm-hmm. For being the most powerful Sith Lord that there ever was, and he was so ruthless, and he killed so many people, and he shut down the Republic and put the rebels under his thumb, blah blah blah. Yeah. But he also turned good at the end and killed Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
So why exactly does he idolize him? Anyways, that's a tangent.
Yeah.
But J.J. Abrams' Kylo Ren was one-dimensional. He wanted to be evil so bad, and he wants power, and that was his entire character. Mm-hmm. People hated it. They thought he was lame. They thought he was a baby.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't like him for
reference. Rian Johnson's version of Kylo Ren is fucking multifaceted and conflicted and hard to read.
But I predicted I predicted no, you have to be evil. Join me and be evil. Like, I predicted that being the ending, and I didn't like that was the ending. Where they come to this moment where they're supposed to join, or could have joined, or could have had any.
I guess I need to re-see
dialogue.
That scene, because I don't remember it feeling that black and white.
Well, because he says, join me, and we become evil, was my reading of it. Like, he wasn't saying join me in the gray, he was saying just come to the dark side. And then she says no, and then they leave and fight. on whatever that, what's that planet? Whatever that planet is. The Hoth-esque.
The salt planet?
Yeah. That was my sense
Yeah,
of
so
it,
you're talking
and that was
about
frustrating.
you're talking about the end of the throne room scene.
Yeah.
Where he says, join me.
And
But, see,
what he proposes makes no sense, as there's no way she's going to accept it. And
to me, it was unclear. Like, I don't know. To me, it was intended to be unclear. Like he's saying, join me, as in be my, sidekick. But it was unclear if he meant join me as the guy who just killed Snoke, or join me as the guy who wants to take Snoke's place.
that was my reading was, we join me and we become Snoke. Like, we just become First Order and continue whatever was going on before. We've both seen it once, so that could be
Yeah,
lost
I
nuance,
could definitely
but
do with re-seeing it, but I definitely didn't
we should probably re-see it together,
interpret it that way.
I think, if we are given the chance.
Sure.
I think that would be,
That'd be neat.
since we have these two different takes. All right, last turn, ready?
All right, finally.
They're just gonna attack a wall.
They just
And accomplish nothing.
somehow kill all of our characters.
That would be rough.
Just double crits.
My first practice of this mission, this last turn, I thought I had it locked up, and a guy waltzes out of the shadows from the right and just one-shots. This turn, on the last turn,
He's just been
kills
sitting
him.
there the whole time.
Or something, or he had spawned and I didn't see him in
That's
the darkness.
insane.
He just walks up and kills him, and I'm like,
Hey.
it's like, you didn't know I was here.
Yeah. Just fucking waited.
Yeah,
Troll.
just camping. It's a PUBG camper over there. He just put up his
bush.
soft top camper. He's just sitting there. But yeah, I thought there was going to be a huge payoff in the Kylo Ren Rey interactions, and it felt
It seemed like
unsatisfied.
It
or
seemed like
unrealized.
one of Rian Johnson's cornerstones was completely denying any sense of payoff.
Yeah, because the movie kind of ends where
He
it
wanted
started,
to buck
sort of.
all expectations.
Yeah,
He wanted to have this portrayal that said things can be gray, things can be undecided. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've read a ton of people's like analysis and
guess I've watched a
interpretations of it, and I think it's developing into something really cool. Like, I totally instantly get a different sense, like when you read really deep analysis of the prequels and people are talking about like this like depth and subtlety that people are missing. Mm-hmm. Like, it just reads like a meme. Like, it's so
Jar Jar is
so,
Sith.
It's so obviously not genuine. But when I read some of these analyses of Last Jedi, it's like people are pointing out things that I didn't notice, things that I didn't think about, things that are really between the lines. Mm-hmm. And it gives me this reinforcement that like this was actually a pretty well thought out idea, and not like a pile of like 3 or 4 different people's ideas that somehow got glued together.
Yeah.
Like, because on the surface it seems almost random and like undecided at parts, and I think it just takes a shift in perspective for you to either see it as a mess or to see it as like an intentional mess.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
10K, baby.
We'll take it.
Anyways.
Yeah, I want this conversation to end. I want to keep talking about The Last Jedi. I've talked to very few people about it.
That's definitely the most depth that we've gotten into.
Yeah.
In our initial reactions, it was very different conversation.
Yeah, we both just like, oh, it was great. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle didn't. Kyle seemed very lukewarm.
Kyle did not. But see,
I don't know if he's Star Wars, though.
yeah. But the thing. Well, I'll go back to it one more time. The thing that most people dislike about the film are the most commonly objected things are very superficial. And there's all these subtle things that I think so many people are not noticing.
Whoa.
Like one thing that I didn't notice is when
Whoa.
when
What's all this stuff?
I don't know, you unlocking shit.
I guess.
When,
Black Temple? I've never seen that in my life.
Is it like an optional thing that you unlocked for doing some condition?
Maybe. Oh, that's the next mission. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. I got.
But yeah, did you
confused.
notice that when Kylo was fighting Luke's projection of himself, that Luke's facial hair was gone and he had a different color lightsaber?
And his hair was shorter.
Yeah.
His haircut, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I noticed the hair, but I thought he had gotten a haircut. He like cleaned himself up to see his sister.
Oh, to like go to the battle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sprucing himself up.
There's a lot of shit like that in the movie that...
And I do like that. I like that I think there's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot.
That is,
exactly.
That is good for the longevity of the film and like the longevity of Star Wars. Even if people hate it now, like that's important to like the bigger goal of making it's stronger as a whole.
Yeah.
And like more to put more stuff into it
and
to keep coming back to is
I feel
the
like
most
that
important
achieves
thing.
what people think that they want from Star Wars. They want more depth. They want more lore to be incorporated. And yeah, just like you said, there's so much to unpack. But I don't think any other Star Wars film has that. It's all very superficial and face value. It's just like, the heroes are going to beat the bad guys, and they do it, and it's great, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
and
or it's like Rogue One, and it just connects the dots.
Right. Yeah. Or it's like every action film that we've gotten in the last 20 years, especially family oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like every other Star Wars film is so cut and dry. And maybe people don't realize that that's the problem that they had with them. And then they finally get something different and they're like, well, this isn't Star Wars.
Yeah. I think we both appreciate that aspect of The Last Jedi. And that
Yes.
it's important.
I highly appreciate the subtlety and the hidden details that you don't notice right away.
Yes.
It's definitely something that it could use. But
go see it if you haven't seen it.
yeah, overall, I'm just gonna maintain excitement to see what Rian Johnson does, because for me, seeing the movie, I think it's clear that he has some really good ideas.
Well, and one person I saw it with
about what it could be.
Said that this film reminded him of Rian Johnson's other films, which he also liked a lot. And he wants to see more of that.
I'm not familiar with any of his other work.
Same.
So it's really easy for me to see what he's doing versus, Abrams or Kasdan from the originals.
Well, hey, good stuff, folks.
All right. Well, that was a super long Star Wars diatribe for you to get us through that final lengthy mission.
Let us know your thoughts about Last Jedi, of course. In the
Yeah,
comments,
please hit us up. Jake, one of the guys from Cyberlunch, he just hates it. He hates it so much.
Does he?
He gets so mad, like you can't talk to him about
There was
it.
a guy in the theater like that when I saw it.
A lot of people I heard walked out.
He walked out and under his breath, he said, this is a disgrace to Star Wars, as he was leaving.
Yeah.
Like shaking his head and like huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
So.
Feel sorry for those people.
Yeah, and they must find it hard to enjoy a lot of things.
But they made it all the way through episode 1. Back in 99.
Maybe.
So
it's got to be someone who hates. Well, yeah, we've already been over that meme. Every movie.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars except.
If you think any of the prequels are better than Last Jedi, we shouldn't talk. But
sorry,
to each their own.
Yeah, but on Wednesday,
chill out with some Newt 1 where we don't talk about Star Wars.
We just chillax.
It's a very relaxing game. And let us know if you want to see more of that.
Check it out if you want to get it on Steam.
Yeah, it's out. Go play it.
Friday.
2 guys worked really hard on it.
Friday is...
Another game that two guys worked really hard on.
Oh, yes.
Cuphead.
Yep, Cuphead.
And also
guys.
these two boys worked pretty hard on that game.
We working very hard to get through
we keep doing it.
You keep watching it,
Yeah.
so...
We're going to see if we can break that curse.
Did you say?
Something like that.
We're going to try.
Little teaser.
Twitch.tv/backlogboys is where you catch all our streams at the end of each month,
Yep, there'll be a stream every month.
except December, I guess. But holidays,
That's in the past.
Whatever. We got an Instagram, snack log,
Yep.
got a
Soda
Twitter,
tastings there for you.
Facebook, all the stuff. Follow all of it. Enjoy it. Hit us up.
Until next time,
We'll see you soon.
boys.